Hello and welcome on in to my 7th YouTube video. My name is Trose, my pronouns are she, her, and I love building in The Sims 4. Today we are going to be taking on a shell challenge, which are so fun to do, but this one in particular was released by Maxis and it's called the Spark Something Shell. It is shaped like a plumb bob and it says create the plumb bob home of your dreams, and I was so excited to do this. I think the plumb bob is such an iconic shape. It has been used in every single Sims series, hasn't it? And it's just so fun to make into a house. I thought it'd be really fun to do this today. So let's bring it over into this 50 by 40 lot in Henford. I really want to create lots of natural greenery as well as the plumb bob greenery. I really wanted to enhance the plumb bob shape. You could actually add exterior walls to the shape of this shell challenge if we wanted to. I decided not to, just because I really have been enjoying creating tiny homes. This doesn't actually count as a tiny home, but it's super fun to kind of change it up and try it and fit a layout into the shape. So let's try and do that. Here I'm just raising up this platform area because eventually I do want to put a waterfall into this. I think there's something really magical about live edit objects or objects that you can use within your building that actually move whilst your Sims are playing the game, I guess, in live mode. And here is the waterfall that I've chosen for this build. So this one actually comes from the live edit objects in Sulani. I love Sulani as well, but I really wanted to build with lots of greenery today, so I felt like this lot would be really fun to do. I would actually love to do a Sulani version as well, but we'll get to it maybe one day. Here I am just sort of smoothing out all of those edges. I don't want any of the edges to look really straight because I've never seen water like that unless it's a man-made bit of water or a swimming pool. So naturally I want to have curved spaces. I also really like the idea of these decking areas kind of just being on the water as well. And here I am just placing in lots of columns. I'm going to do a trellis moment here. So using that fence that I've just selected, the really small one, I'm going on the floor above the deck area and creating the shape that I want. And then just deleting the flooring in between each of the fences to create that trellis moment. Which is so fun to do. Have you ever created a trellis on one of your builds before? If you haven't, I definitely recommend it. It's super fun to do and it just adds another layer of something unique to your build. Here I just wanted to really I wanted a diagonal space as well. I don't know why I didn't do more diagonal trellises, but I felt like that one worked and it kind of just enhances and brings your eyes and draws your eyes again towards the plumb bob itself, as I want it to be the main focus of attention for this build. I wanted to try and work out what kind of shape to do, and I definitely wanted to have a smaller plumb bob within the plumb bob, and definitely wanted to use lots of the green swatches. So basically all of the grass swatches you get in the tiles I wanted to use, and I wanted all of the platforms that I'm going to be using to be green too. I definitely wanted to bring lots of different heights to it, just to kind of enhance it even more and make it look a little bit more exciting from above, instead of just flat. And I love all of these green textures. So there's a couple of different ones there. There's the ones with the pink flowers. There's just the two dark green ones that from Eco Lifestyle, which are really satisfying to use. And just all using those fences to try and mark off these platform areas. Again, platforms can be quite tricky to use in The Sims 4, but they are really easy if you want to draw them out with your fences first and then raise them up and lower them. And then you can always delete those fences after you've done using your platforms, but that's my favourite trick to come when it comes to using platforms. I also wanted to, I didn't feel like the green flooring gave it enough, so I added in all of these lovely sort of grass textures that you get within The Sims 2. So I thought that helped and definitely kind of made it a little bit more textural. I don't know, it looks fun, I thought. Here you can see I really struggled to try and get these bits in the corner though. It's definitely a little bit more tricky than it seems, but very fun to do and worth it. And you can always use tool if it does prove a little bit too tricky to place them right up to those corners. And luckily some of them didn't have too many. I also really wanted to incorporate some pink into this. I didn't want it to be the main colour, so I just did a little bit of pink because pink is also one of my favourite colours. Green and pink. Green is obviously much more my favourite colour, but yeah. Here I'm just going to be doing the layout. So I wanted there to be a hallway because I always feel like a hallway is really useful to have when you're entering into a house. I also realise here that I haven't brought this trellis far enough across for how I want this to work. So we are going to be using obviously lots of the Parenthood swatches, so I do put in all of that flooring to start, just as a base, so we kind of get the style quite quickly. I also really wanted to include lots of exposed stone walls. I really think that's something you see quite a lot in the countryside in the UK. So I wanted to incorporate that. I really wanted to kind of make this look like just your average normal sort of Parenthood build within the plumb bob, and almost forget that you're in a plumb bob, but have hints of it here and there. Obviously using the green swatches, and just doing lots of things like that, and lots of my favourites, lots of plants you'll see in here. But yeah, so I found out about this challenge through being tagged on Instagram by my lovely friend and moderator, Jasmine Paris. Jasmine, thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it. I saw it and I had a spare Sunday last week, and I was just really in the mood to build. So I was really, really pleased to do this. And uploaded it to the gallery in time for the competition. And oh my goodness gracious me, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but I got the email on Thursday to say that I was one of the winners, and I had seen a couple of the other winners. I really want to see all the winning choices. So there's 10 winners overall. I'd really love to see all of theirs, because I know how talented people are. The ones I did see were absolutely mind-boggling at how on earth they created that from this shell challenge as well. I always find it so fascinating what people do with shell challenges, and there's so many talented builders in the Sims community. So grateful and lucky to be one of those chosen as the winners. So very grateful for that. And Jasmine, thank you so much for tagging me in that again. I really appreciate it. But it's so funny, isn't it, when you really get inspired to build in The Sims. Normally it's sort of just on a random day. I was just sort of not sure what to do in my afternoon. I wanted to be productive, so I was really pleased that I did that last Sunday and did this build. I really enjoyed it. I loved how green it looked. I was really, really, really happy that The Sims reacted as well to my tweet and stuff. They liked the greenery too, so that's good to know. And I'm so grateful for the opportunities like this within the Sims community. It's so fun that we can all participate in competitions like this and see each other's creations online. I've always found that so fun. Previously on my Twitch channel, we have done quite a few shell challenges in the past, and I've always absolutely loved hosting them or doing them myself as a builder. It's always so fun, and I love seeing how different everyone creates things. Even with budgets or restricted packs and things and builds, everyone's can always be so different, and it's so amazing to see how creative people are and how talented people are. And it always gets me so inspired to build as well, seeing all these gorgeous creations online. So I love that for us. I'm really looking forward to in The Sims 5 also it being multiplayer, just because it will make maybe doing save files and stuff with lots of amazing Simmers that much easier. But I absolutely love doing and participating in things like that. And got lots of exciting projects that I'm working on at the moment, which is super fun. But you'll hear more about those in the new year. Here I am doing the kitchen. I wanted this to be really cozy and cluttered and very lived in and loved. Again, because it is obviously a Parenthood kitchen, I wanted all of the clutter to be from either cottage living or the country kitchen kit. Just because they all look really cohesive together, and I think they blend really nicely too. I also wanted to make sure I had enough room for a pet. I really like the idea of having cats in this build, or you can obviously have a dog or two, but I obviously don't include enough for them yet. So I have put one food bowl and then that gorgeous kitchen table. I love it so much. And we're heading off to the main bedroom, so this is going to be the primary bedroom. And I wanted to include a really lovely cozy fireplace in here. You can definitely tell it's cold in the UK at the moment because of how many fireplaces I've put in this build so far. Normally I'd only put one, but I really like the idea of having a really snug bedroom and just keeping it lovely and cozy. Again, using lots of plants and green swatches. Even the bed is going to be a green swatch, shocking, I know. And here's the side tables with some candles, just to give that really cozy vibe and atmosphere I would like for this build. If you could have any pack, friends, this is a question I really love asking because I love hearing all of your really cool ideas for The Sims. If you could have any pack you wanted at all for The Sims to release next, what would it be? Would you like a generations type pack? Would you like a fairy pack? Would you like horses in the game? What is the kind of thing that you would really love to see in The Sims 4? What do you feel like it's missing? I feel like we've got so much content now with The Sims 4. There isn't too much more I can think of, but I'm sure you've all got fantastic ideas. I'd love to hear them. I really love talking about The Sims in general, just because obviously when else do I get the chance to do this? I'm trying to think. I would think berries would be really cute. I really like doing, I surprised myself how much I really love building in Glimmerbrook recently, doing the 100 Tiny Builds challenge. I've never been too much into the occult side of The Sims and things like that, but sometimes a world just inspires me to build, and Glimmerbrook definitely did that. In fact, next week's video will be in Glimmerbrook, friends, so if you do want to keep your eyes out here on the YouTube channel for any more speed builds, then please feel free to subscribe. If you like how this build looks at the end, if you want to like the video or anything like that, I'd love to hear from you as well. And I'm so grateful that you're still watching the video. Thank you very much, friends. Here I'm back outside. We have done the interior. I did a last bedroom in the back there, again using that platform, and now I am outside putting all of the rocks in. There is going to be quite a lot of rocks because, again, I really don't like these sort of muddy areas around the outside in the landscaping, so I like to hide them with all the rocks. Again, it adds loads more detail as well, lots of lines and shapes, and it just makes it look a little bit more, well, just natural, doesn't it? Again, I'm using tool to pretty much lower all of these in. Some of the rocks are really useful and they kind of slide into the side of the mud section. And as you can see, I absolutely love Twisted Maxis mods. I can't recommend them enough. I do mention them in every video, but just in case you're new, Twisted Maxi has these amazing mods that you can use when you're building that help you organise all your debug and live edit objects, which is obviously super useful. So everything that you see within the world or any debug object that your Sims use when they're doing animated interactions with things, they are all available at your fingertips and organised into your build by, which is amazing. And then tool is incredible because it helps just lower items that you might not normally be able to lower, or make them bigger, or little things like that, and little adjustments that just help your game look a little bit more natural, which is very exciting, and I absolutely love using them. I always recommend them, but I can't get enough of it. It's so good. So thank you, Twisted Maxi, as well, so much for your gorgeous mods. We appreciate you lotsly. I'm sure lots of people would say that too. Here I am as well, just placing in all of the plants, again going really we're doing loads of greenery today. I really wanted it to look really overgrown again, have that kind of very British overgrown countryside feel, because we are in Henford. So just covering all of the brown sections with plants, lots of foxgloves, lots of pink flowers, as well as the greenery as well. I feel like green and pink was kind of the theme for my landscaping today. Obviously we're using a lot of those sort of bluey grey rocks as well, but I think they kind of all work together quite nicely. In this little section I wanted to do like a bit of a secret garden moment, this little circle moment here, and putting loads of plants surrounding it so it makes it a little bit more private. I don't actually add too much into it. I leave quite a lot of areas sort of blank-ish so that if you were to put your Sims in this build, you could absolutely adapt them to how you want your Sims to live. So if you want there to have a party area in there, you could do that, or if you want them to have a DJ booth or more books or things like that, you could absolutely go ahead and do something like that. I also love all of the live edit objects in Henford. I really love that little sign that I just placed down at the bottom there with all the different angles and where everything takes you. I think that's such a cute thing. Definitely a very storybook countryside cuteness. I also want to place the wisteria everywhere. Again, the more greenery the better in my opinion, especially for today's build. Even though I keep it relatively controlled, there's quite a lot of negative space as well. And this is what it looks like from above at the moment, and I'm just working out where the trees are, and just putting more plants in. And in this area I thought it'd be really fun to again use those darker green swatches to create kind of lawn stripes, but again that kind of come out of the plum bob to again either draw your eye to the plum bob or make it look like it's sort of bursting with colour and the greenery is almost overflowing into Henford itself. Obviously Henford is very green anyway, but I just liked the idea of doing that, and giving it some sort of more structured greenery as well for this build, just because I've kind of used quite modern sort of styles on the top with all the platforms for the plum bob and then gone very Henford on the bottom. So kind of just to mix it in a little bit there using those lawn stripes I thought would be quite fun. I'm going to be doing some more decoration on these walls. I don't like how plain they are at the moment. Obviously there isn't as many shapes and different angles and things on this as I'd like, for my builds. So I'm putting lots of wisteria, adding lots of like pop out bits where I can. Obviously the decks helped a little bit, and obviously more plants, always more plants. Also from my wedding stories, the bunting. I love the bunting so much. It's so cute. It's such a like village fair kind of thing. I don't know, I think it really goes nicely in Henford as well. I also really like these wood stores just because they feel really cozy, especially as we've got a couple of fireplaces inside. So loved including that item. I'm just putting in lots more greenery as well. Again, I just want to keep it as natural as possible, and have it overflowing, especially where there's those awkward mud bits, just to hide them a little bit more. But I had so much fun doing this build. I love landscaping and just trying to make things look cohesive in the world, but I love this sort of playful twist on this build with it being a plumb bob. Did you take part in this shell challenge, friends? Where did you end up building it, and what did you make it into? Did you keep it a house as well, or did you make it into a community lot? I saw lots of different versions of it and so many cool creative ideas. So much talent in the community. It is wild, isn't it? Here I am just doing some of the finishing touches to the pond, so just making sure it's got lots of reeds and algae and greenery. But thank you so much again for watching the video, friends. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being on this journey with me. And thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed building it. And if you'd like to subscribe for any more speed builds, please feel free. That'd be amazing. I'd love to get to know you better, so please feel free to leave a comment. If you want to like the video as well, all of that really is amazing, and I'm super grateful for all the support. Thank you so much. I'm going to leave you with some action shots of the build and some screenshots of it overall. I hope you enjoy, and thank you very much. I'll see you next week. Toodle pip.